Welcome to the HIV podcast. Each week we focus on a person, historical event or pop culture moment linked to HIV and explore the story of what actually happened. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jess, and between us we've been working in the field of HIV for 40 years. Our aim is to get as many people as possible HIV educated. This episode contains sexual references throughout. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome. I nearly said to HIV Hope and Charity. That's a blast from the past, isn't it? Welcome to the HIV podcast.
Yes. That's the best start I've ever done.
You here?
For a brief second, I was thinking, what shall I have for lunch today? But I'm back now. Yes, I'm here. But have you got anything from News Corner for us?
I don't have anything from News Corner, but I'm going to be really honest. That is because sometimes with the episodes, we record them back to back, because if a topic particularly goes together, it's nice to have it flow. So we're actually recording this straight after last week's episode. So I know you're probably all, on tenterhooks waiting to hear what moist membrane secretions everyone would like to sit in, especially Bernice, my mother, and Sean, our boss. But we haven't got that information just yet. But we will keep you all posted. And please do send them in to us like we asked you to. So that is just what we thought we'd tell you. That is why we don't have any updates on News Corner this week.
Fabulous. So are you ready? Because we always bang on, don't we, about using condoms. But we've never talked properly about how you use them.
Yeah.
And because this is a podcast, we can't show you unless you're watching on YouTube, but we can describe how to do it. So I can say these are the steps that you should take in order to wear a condom effectively. But you are going to actually demonstrate it for our YouTube viewers.
It's more than YouTube, because on YouTube we will put a clip out of this because Sarah's now made that work for me because she's announced that we're putting it on YouTube. But normally we have it on TikTok, Instagram and Twitter. That's Sarah.
I'm creating more work. I'm so sorry.
So you can see it as like little clips on there, how we normally put them out. So we will cut this down and put it out as a little clip as well.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, get ready for the most erotic few minutes of your life. Who wouldn't want to listen to my squeaky voice talking about erect penises? I was born to do this job.
And I do want to hear it.
Really? Your voice is so much better than mine. Yours, it's lower, it's more sultry. Oh, good grief. Is that how you start with anybody?
Getting ready.
Okay, well, you limber up. Wow. Is that how you start every sexual encounter?
For sex, yeah. I'm like,
yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Fabulous. Okay, so it's easy to use a condom properly once you know how.
Yeah.
And, obviously there are benefits to using them properly. It can prevent them from breaking, leaking or slipping off during sex. Condoms don't lick anything, Jesus. So there are some things you need to check when you have a condom or when you found a condom. We don't want anyone using an old condom they found at the bottom of their wallet. So we need to check that there is a BSI kite mark or European CE mark. This is for the UK. Other areas around the world will have their own quality marks. So you have a condom there.
Yeah, I do indeed. Mine does have a quality kite mark on it. Yes, it does.
Excellent. And we'd always check the expiry date.
Yes. So mine is the 11th, 2021. Now, I'll tell you for why it's out of date, Sarah. So it does have a date on it. But what we do is, just for occasions like this, we're very careful. We keep the condoms that have gone out of date very separately, but we can use them for displays like this. So we're not using the ones that are in date that we want to give away to people to use. So that is why mine is out of date, but it definitely does have a date on the back.
Fabulous. Okay, so we're using them. We're not using brand new condom and wasting it effectively. Okay, no problem. We should point out that if date has expired, just don't use it. There's a reason they have an expiry date. So if it's past that, find someone that's in date.
And another thing, just quickly, the reason Sarah mentioned about if there's one in your wallet or your purse that's been there for a while, where it's getting hot and the movement and everything, it's going to weaken the latex. So that's why it's not really a great place to keep your condom.
No, nor should you keep them in direct sunlight. Is that right?
I tend to get my condoms right, and then I find the hottest part of the house where there's just a beam of sunshine, Sarah, and I just put them in a pile there. So should I not be doing that?
Oh my God. Are you using them as extra protection this winter to help with the fuel crisis? You're just lining your windows with condoms to keep the heat in.
They work as everything. They work as Christmas decorations, insulation, washing up mittens, anything, Sarah, Just got to have imagination.
Okay. And if you're using lube, use the right sort of lube. So water-based, silicone-based, not oil-based. Oil and condoms, they're not really a fan of each other, are they?
No, and when I started at TVPS a long time ago, like 14 years ago, there was a sign in the computer room upstairs in the Reading Centre. I don't know if you remember this. And it said, it listed things not to use as lube, which very sensible, of course, have that up anywhere because, like Sarah's saying, it can damage the latex, it can damage the condom, meaning it doesn't work properly. Do you know what one of those things was? Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah, that is one of the things that was on the list that TVPS had made to put on the wall saying, please don't use mayo. So someone must have, and there must have been a chat around it, but I very much enjoyed that when I saw that.
Don't use any condiment. No.
It's mayonnaise that much.
I wouldn't have thought mayonnaise. I mean, it's greasy, but it's not. Is it lubricating?
It was mayo.
Oh, apart from anything else, that is an expensive lube to use. Have you seen the cost of Hellmann's mayonnaise? Don't be using that. Use a budget brand if you have to.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There's another question for your mum. What type of lube does she prefer? She didn't have water-based normal lube. What would she use out of her kitchen cupboards?
Bernice, if you had to use any condiment as lube, what condiment would you use? I think she's going to say either salad cream or Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce.
Let's see. I'm going to ask her before this goes out and actually see what she says. But again, please don't use condiments as lubrication.
No.
We're just tormenting my mother.
I mean, butter. Come on, it's got to be butter, isn't it?
Olive oil.
Maybe. Margarine. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, you are going to start your demonstration. Where's your penis?
Right, penis at the ready.
Oh, what a realistic looking penis you've got.
This is do you like it? When you watch videos like makeup tutorials or whatever, and they do this with their hand behind it to show it to the camera. That's what I'm doing for you.
Jess is demonstrating a penis from a Smurf. Jesus.
Right, I'm going to put it up so you can all see it. Right, here we go.
Oh,
do you want it facing this way or do you want it from to the side? Which would you prefer? That's quite scary.
Oh, okay. It's all scary. I mean, look at the size of it. Wow. Why blue? Why did they choose blue? Well, okay. It's good to know we've got realistic props. Excellent.
Okay. Got my condom.
Are you ready? Right. I mean, it's completely thrown me. There's your condom. So the first thing I'm going to do is open the packet and pinch the top of the... I was going to say pinch the top of the penis. No, no, they would never do that.
Sarah, what kind of sex are you having?
That's your moment ruined, isn't it? Pinch the top of the condom between your thumb and forefinger.
Well, I've heard it's safe sex, I'm just going to pinch it. And I'm like, please don't.
Oh, God, that's all the sex gone then, isn't it? Erection disappeared. You're all welcome.
Open it carefully, right? Don't just tear it open with my teeth and spit of it out,
No, avoid doing what you would normally do and open it.
Ripping it open with my teeth and then pinching the penis.
I've seen you at Pride. Yes.
Okay. Gonna open
carefully open it.
Here we go. Right, here we go. Now, gonna push it out. Here we are.
Lovely. Now we're going to pinch the top of it because we want to ensure there is room in the condom for the semen.
Okay, and I want to make sure it's the right way round, don't I? So that's the right way round. So it's not inside out.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to keep it rolled up because you're going to put it on top there like that and roll it from the tip to the base. You don't want to unroll it first. It's not a sock. So hold and roll.
We go. Yeah.
Lovely. Oh, beautifully done. And it's on. There you go. You can put lube over the outside of the whole condom, water-based lube, and reapply lube as possible, whenever as necessary when you're having sex.
Yeah.
Excellent. And it says here, take time to ensure it's put on properly. Now, you've just seen from Jess that it's really, really quick to do, but don't rush because then you could run into problems. If it's not on there properly, you might as well not bother. Now, when you're finished, you want to hold the condom tight to the base of the penis to prevent leakage. We're going to remove the condom, but you're not going to reuse it. I can't believe anyone would reuse it. But you're just going to throw it away, put it on the floor, whatever you want to do with it.
Is that where you put your used condom, Sarah? On the floor? Throw
Everywhere.
It away, or guys, just put it on the floor.
People do, don't they? I mean, they're talking about...
In the throes of passion, you're right. Right, I'm going to try and take it off. Here we go. I'm holding. I can't do it while you can see, actually, because it's the wrong way round. know what I mean? Okay, here we go. And then should we tie a knot in it like most people do to dispose of things, just to keep it all?
I think, yeah. Oh, see, I wouldn't tie a knot, but you can.
The semen in here.
Oh.
Leak out on my carpet if I'm just lobbing it on the floor, you know?
Wow.
Do you know what? Can I just tell you guys, my dog's actually watching me do this, and I just threw that over there in her face like this. So luckily she didn't go and get it. I'll put that away up here.
Well, dispose of it how you will. Just don't put them down the toilet, because they don't travel well, do they? They don't flush well down a toilet. They just end up clogging up.
That's a very good point.
So yeah, dispose of them in the bin. Now, some more tips. Well done, Jess. beautifully demonstrated.
Thank you very much.
And with a penis from your own collection. How lovely.
Yeah, no, it is. I have a little penis museum going on over here.
Do you? With all the colours of pride?
I actually took this from our office because we don't have much call to use them at the moment, only because there are tons of resources online that you can use and see. So if we're not physically going somewhere, where am I going to take the blue penis? I mean,
Very true.
It's got out of the cupboard. It's having a whirl today.
Oh, well, we should say that for condoms to work effectively, you've got to have a clean penis. It's kind of essential, really, isn't it? Not greasy. Why do the words greasy penis just make me want to laugh?
I didn't realise it mattered if you had a greasy penis or not.
No, I don't know why I find those two words so fun. Do you know what it is? I think it's because it's sounds like the ultimate insult to me. So if someone's really getting on my nerves, and everyone does, because I'm at that age now where I'm just like a bit grumpy, in my head now I'll be like, oh, you're such a greasy penis. I'm going to use it for everything.
Nice. I like it. Greasy penis. I think it sounds like an item you might get in a fish and chip shop. Like a battered sausage. Do you want the Savoy, the battered sausage, or the greasy penis?
Everyone now probably wanting to vomit at the thought of a greasy penis, but I'm like, this is an excellent insult. So, yes, I know we don't ever get political, but the government at the moment, crock of greasy penises. Perfect.
I like it.
Right, so that's a kind of mission for everyone this week who listens to the podcast. Try and get that into an insult somewhere. You don't have to say it to someone's face. Just in your head. If someone annoys you, they're a greasy penis.
Look at you encouraging hatred in the world. Everyone else is like, #be kind. Sarah's like, in your head, call someone a greasy penis.
That's why you wouldn't say it out loud. That's why you're being kind. But the world is quite a difficult place at the moment. And I think everybody has a moment in the day where you're just like, oh, this is a greasy penis moment.
I like that. A greasy penis moment.
There you go.
So wait, it does matter. I didn't know this. It's brand new information.
Oh, okay. So look, I'm not implying anyone naturally has a greasy penis, right? I'm saying that if you have been doing foreplay and you've been using like baby oil, for example, or you've just been messing about, you need to clean it before you put the condom on it.
Like a sensual massage. Then, make sure that's not on the penis. Get rid of it. Oh, okay. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take everything off. It's just, I think some people might assume that if you've got some sort of lubricant on there, it might be easier to get the condom over the penis. It's not. You're actually making your life a bit more difficult for yourself. It's really easy to kind of roll it down anyway. You don't need any kind of lubrication or greasiness.
Yeah, no, it is very easy. And may I just say, that is the sexiest part, I think, of any, interaction, is getting some sort of wet wipe and wipe. The wiping of the penis is probably just the sexiest part of all of it.
I mean, if you can, hold it up to the light, make sure there's nothing on that bad boy.
Like, get one of those the blue lights, make sure there's nothing on it, We're not suggesting that anyone actually CSI blue lights anyone's penis or vagina, for that matter,
unless that's what you're into. Some people might like that.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. That's very true. But it is very good advice not to have things that might erode the latex already on you, even though you think, like you were saying, that's going to make it go on easier. No, you've just watched me. It goes on super easy. And then the lube over the top of the condom, not under.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Although it might sound daft, just make sure that your condom is the right way. And in the dark, you're fumbling about, put the light on, double check. There you go. That will completely ruin the moment.
Right, then
but I promise you, as you become more, we're needing wipes, a strong light, and a moment to pause and check that the condom's the right way. I promise, the more you use them, the easier it gets. You won't need to do all these precautionary measures.
Amazing.
Oh, now I need to check something in with you because I've got listed here. It says if you have a foreskin, pull it back before covering the head of the penis with the condom. Wouldn't it be back anyway?
No, because say the foreskin wasn't rolled back and then you put the penis on top of it. And so what they're saying is roll the foreskin back before you do anything at all. You know how it can be all like up and do you like that? Do you like that hand action? That's my foreskin up motion.
Oh, cool. Oh, God. Okay. So if you have a foreskin, pull it back before covering the head of the penis with a condom. Don't try to cover the testicles with a condom. Why would you even? Do people do that? No.
Condom is probably a bit small at that point, wouldn't you? If you're trying to, stuff your balls in as well.
Put everything in there.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, good advice though.
Okay. If you're having anal sex, cover the outside of the condom with lube. Put lube inside your partner.
Okay, well, these are all very good tips, by the way. And remember that you can get non-latex condoms as well, because some people have a latex allergy. I have a latex allergy, so I can't use a latex condom. So you can get those. So remember, you can use those. And there are lots of different lubes that you can use that do all sorts of different things, like heat up, cool down, tingle, delay, all kinds of stuff, aren't there? So make it fun, turn that light on, clean that penis, and, get your tingly lube out.
Moisten up that vagina and away you go. Okay, now, just some things to be... I've not heard of this before. You might have done. But it says here, never use 2 condoms at once. Do people... I suppose if you're worried it might fall off or whatever, you might be tempted to put 2 on.
It's called double bagging.
Is it an actual thing? Oh, it's like I've never worked here. But it's just rubber rubbing against rubber. Is that what you're saying? Like one condom rubbing against. Think of the friction. You'd set yourself on fire.
That's how we'll keep warm this winter. I don't know anyone that's actually tried it, but I've heard the term. I've heard that term. I don't know whether that's from TV or where, but I've definitely heard it.
Okay, so people think they're being super safe. You're not just using one, you're using 2.
Yeah, which is crazy.
God, what a waste of money. No.
Yeah, do not do that. No double bagging.
Okay. If you lose your erection, condom may slip, and it's actually the biggest single cause of condom failure. But all you need to do is hold the condom at the base, and that will help it stay put, and then you just get hard again, and off you go. Yeah,
you might think, actually, should I just get another one? But yeah, if you just hold it, perfect.
Okay. If it does break or slip off, or you realise it's inside out, withdraw as soon as you find out. And then in that case, you do need to use a new one. If you're kind of ever uncertain about kind of whether it's working, then, it's not worth the risk. Put a new one on and then off you go again. Perfect. Oh, and the other thing, if you're in for a really long session, by long session, they mean over 45 minutes, not including foreplay. So that's 45 minutes penetration. Who has the time? But anyway, then consider changing the condom. It's more likely to break if sex lasts for a long time. It doesn't apply to me. Got 2 children. We can't be taking. There's other things we need to do.
yeah, I've got stuff to get on with. Come on.
Now, the other thing we need to know is that after you've come, withdraw the penis before it becomes soft. So a flaccid penis is no one's friend, especially if it's wearing a condom, because that is when everything could leak out, and then you might as well not have bothered.
It's a good point. So if you're sort of, taking your time to pull out, that's very good advice. And like Sarah, just chuck it on the floor.
I would never put it on the
fine. Don't need to put a knot in it. She's not bothered. She's just got really hard carpet next to her bed.
I've never done that. I've never thrown it on the floor. I'm all about keeping the contents contained. Nobody likes, wet patches or no.
I honestly thought you were going to say I'm all about keeping the contents.
Oh, yeah, for a later date, The cost of living crisis, Jeff.
Indeed.
So look, although we have made light of some of it, it is actually, when you think about it, it is a very tidy way to have sex. There is less mess, less arguments about who lies in the wet spot. Come on. I think it's an all-round good way of having really safe, fun sex.
I agree. And we think condoms are little HIV heroes, don't we? We just think they're heroes of sex generally. And we don't talk about them enough, I don't think.
No, I think they get a bad press sometimes, don't they? And they don't need to. They do good.
Just like any other kind of technology, it moves on, and there is more and more variety.
Mm.
So, now they have super thin condoms, and of course, we've always had latex free, but there's all kinds of delay, and I could just go on and on. I won't bore you all to death, but as you know, Sarah, there are so many different kinds. So don't just think, oh, I tried a condom and I didn't really like it. Explore more. There is so much variety. There is a condom for everyone.
See, your voice is much better for this. That sounded, feasible, whereas I'm just like, oh, it's hilarious, greasy penis. Oh. I knew we should have swapped this time.
Yeah, but do you know what I had to go through when I was younger? My voice broke.
Did it?
Yeah, because, and the doctor explained it to me, like, if you think about girls that have a slightly deeper voice as a woman, say like Danny Bear. And I'm going to use her as an example because that is the very example the doctor used for me. Because right now, loads of people listening going, who is Danny Bear? It's because they weren't watching The Word on Channel 4. I don't know what they were doing, but go and Google her. So she has that lovely gravelly, mine's not as good as hers. I wish it was that deep. But yeah, so for 6 months, I'd like always have a cough and my voice was a bit odd and it was a bit hoarse. And I went there and the doctor's basically like, yeah, your voice is breaking. Because you can't go from sounding like, a 10-year-old girl to then having like a gravelly adult woman voice. Not that my voice is gravelly, but it is a deeper level than, say, other women. So there you go, my voice broke.
Oh, I did not know that was even a thing.
Me neither, until I went there and was like, sorry, what? And then, yeah, there I was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's good. It's much better, I think, to have a lower voice. I think people take you more seriously if you've got a lower voice.
Do you think? I take you very seriously.
Well, I mean, obviously you do. You must do. I'm your boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Just been telling everyone I throw sperm all over my bedroom carpet.
Every episode we've started oversharing. I don't know if you've noticed that recently.
Do you know, it's because we forget that there are people listening to this. It's just like a chat, isn't it? And then afterwards I think, oh no. When you're like, oh, the number of listeners has gone up again. It's like, and my reputation's gone down. Never mind.
Have insights into like who we're dreaming about and whether we throw condoms on the floor or not.
Anyway, do you know what? We should cover PrEP. We did say we'd look at PrEP too. Okay, so look, if condoms really aren't your thing, but you still like to protect yourself against HIV, then maybe PrEP is the way forward for you. So PrEP only protects against HIV though. So if you want to ensure you don't get other STIs, then this method is not for you. It's available in sexual health clinics. It's a pill that is taken every day. Well, it can either be taken every day or it can be taken in the lead up to when you're going to have unprotected sex, and it prevents you from contracting HIV, the same medication that some HIV positive people take to become undetectable. Now, you're the expert on PrEP, not me, so please jump in if I've got any wrong. Now, in theory, PrEP is available to anyone that wants it, but in reality, I don't think that is the case.
Yeah, no, it's not. So I am glad we're talking about this because I know it's something that you and I sort of struggle with a bit. So obviously, as an HIV organisation, we want people to know about PrEP and to be able to take PrEP, but it's really hard to be raising lots of awareness saying, yeah, this is open to anyone, but it's not actually open to anyone. There is a criteria. And look, I understand that things have to have a criteria because there's a budget, things cost money. I understand that. But it's also really difficult. So each clinic, there's a rough criteria, a general one, but each clinic can decide themselves whether they feel you're at risk or not. Sarah, do you have the overarching criteria that the clinics have?
Okay, well, let's look at the NICE guidelines because they identified key groups in which promotion of PrEP should be targeted in the hope it will make a significant impact on reducing HIV transmission in these groups. So they are HIV negative men who have condomless sex with other men, HIV negative heterosexual men and women having condomless sex with partners who are HIV positive, and HIV negative trans women who are identified as being at elevated risk of HIV acquisition through condomless sex. That's who they're saying PrEP should be aimed at.
But each clinic doesn't have that. Basically, they can make their own decision on whether they deem somebody's at risk or not. So say if I want to go to the clinic and access PrEP, but perhaps I don't articulate very well in what way it is, or perhaps I don't necessarily, perhaps my nurse is or my doctor is male, I don't feel that comfortable discussing it all. I think there are quite a few barriers for other people accessing it. And we know we've certainly had women who have felt very uncomfortable and have found it hard, like they've been having to fight to access PrEP. So I think it is difficult. I think we've publicized it amazingly well with men who are having sex with men. And we've talked about that. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so pleased that people have access to it and are well aware of it. But we're sort of then raising awareness to other groups. And then it's like, oh, well, you know, I'd like to have it, but actually you're going to have to go to the clinic and you're going to have to, kind of really explain your case, which can be really daunting and put people off. And then they might not get PrEP and they might not engage. It is slightly more complicated than just saying, yeah, it's for everyone. Here we go. Like we said, I do understand there has to be a criteria and that they have to make choices, but perhaps we could do things in a different way. Perhaps there could be an online questionnaire first. So maybe if you aren't good at articulating the level of risk that you're at or why you're at risk, perhaps there's something you could do beforehand, or, you know, maybe we could help in that kind of way. I don't know, but
it's difficult, isn't it? I can't imagine myself going to a sexual health clinic and asking to go on PrEP because I don't want to use condoms, and then having to justify that I have a lot of unprotected sex. I don't think a lot of people want to, because that's always seen as such a negative thing, isn't it? No one's proudly going in there going, I have unprotected sex all the time with lots of different men.
It's just another barrier. What if I'm a sex worker and I don't necessarily want to disclose that? It just makes it hard. I feel like, could there be boxes that you tick that are just more general? Do you fit this category, or this category? Don't have to go into it, you know, we're not asking you to prove it type thing. And I think that's the thing. It's if you're made to feel that you have to fight quite hard for something, you're possibly not going to get it. And I think another hurdle is, and I know we've had some of our service users say this, it's that confusion around, so if you're in a relationship with someone that's positive and you're not positive, obviously, like we've talked about in the last episode, there's you equals you, right? So we're saying you equals you, undetectable equals untransmittable. So we've had people say, well, hang on, if I'm undetectable and I can't transmit, but my partner's being told that they should be on PrEP, they kind of don't want to be because they don't want to be taking extra medication, but should they be? You know, there are some confusing messages around that.
Yeah, no, there definitely are. And it's not really, I don't think there's equal access. And I don't understand why it just has to be through the sexual health clinic. I think it should be community or offered within the community, because we know a massive barrier for a lot of people is actually going to the clinic.
Absolutely. At the HPE conference, I did actually see there's a community project that's been piloting PrEP in the community, which was really fascinating. And it was really fascinating. And I hope that this is how we're going to move forward. You know, we've said it before. I was so pleased to see that because, it's everything we talk about. Let's make it available in the community. Let's give people access to it. You know, I just think, it can be really difficult. It's just difficult.
There are situations, aren't there, where, you know, you don't want to be, you know, perhaps it's not you that is having a lot of unprotected sex, but you know that your partner might be, and you want a discreet way to protect yourself. It does happen, and we do need to talk about these things.
Absolutely.
And I can think of nothing worse than having to voice that at a sexual health clinic.
Yes.
Because I would find that too difficult to do.
You would. I think that's a really difficult situation. And like you're saying, can be quite upsetting. And, you know, quite often that can be for cultural issues. We've certainly seen that where you're expected to only be sleeping with your partner, but your partner, it's okay culturally for them to, you know, and you might not be happy with the fact that they're sleeping with other people, and then you have to go to the clinic, like you're saying, and then go through, not beg them, but essentially, I just think, could there be different ways of creating or understanding risk?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, PrEP should be empowering because you're taking control of your sexual health. And I don't think it is at the moment for some people. I think once we, and that's what we should be working towards, is that kind of equality across all groups so that everybody that takes it feels empowered that they're taking control of their sex life, not just certain communities.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. As we said, it is only available via the sexual health clinic at the moment, and you do need regular kidney function tests. You need to be screened for other STIs, and you'd be screened for HIV as well. And then I think it's every year that you have to go back and have kidney function tests.
I thought it was every 6 months, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. But you will need regular screening.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to say.
Don't quote us on times, but you definitely will need that.
We haven't got a clue.
So I know some people that we work with use PrEP as an almost secondary level of protection. So they quite like going out cruising, and when they're having sex, they like to use condoms, and they're a bottom. But when we've got a whole episode on it with Andy who talked about PrEP. So you can go back and listen to that. He chooses to use PrEP because if someone is stealthing, which basically means they start by using a condom, they remove it, don't tell you, and carry on having sex with you, then he has that extra layer of protection if somebody were to do that. And again, I can understand that. He really is taking charge of his sexual health. He's doing everything he can to protect himself and others.
Seriously, is that what some people do? Pretend to use it and then... well, they are definitely greasy penises. Come on.
Ever I was going to call anyone a greasy penis, it's Stubbers. Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm not going to let this catchphrase go. This is my new catchphrase now for everything. Yeah, I told you I'm going to use it in love. I'm going to make it catch on. You'll see it on Twitter soon. #greasypenis.
Oh my God. Please.
It's happening. I know it is. We're building up to something very big here.
God. Is there any more on PrEP?
No, we are done. The advice we would give is talk to your sexual health clinic because it can only be prescribed by them at the moment. That's it. I'm very much looking forward to your next stats on social media that we have to give to the trustees at board meeting, and you have to put that #greasypenis was trending. And they'll be
Please,
like,
nobody use it.
Everybody use it. Come on. Power in our listeners.
I asked Sean which of the orifices. No, it wasn't. Was it the orifices? The membrane, the moist membrane he'd like to be. And this week it's put #greasypenis into a formal trustee report. So thanks for that. Thank you. Thanks. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is my boss.
Yes, soon to be fired. But there you go.
Enjoy it. I think they're going to like it.
They cannot. Oh, this is different content, isn't it? Come on. No one else is doing these sort of things.
Yeah, that's very true. No one else has got #greasypenis going on.
No,
what can we say? Episodes where we're sort of going back to real basics again. And again, stuff that we assume that everyone just knows this, so, we'll breeze over it. No, I think let's keep going back to basics.
I think you're right, actually. And I think we'll do more of these in the future. Next week, dare I say, we are going back to the 80s. Come on, it's been so long. We have to.
God, it has been.
We might not. We might do Pride episodes.
Can't decide. I mean, an episode will happen if we're able to turn the computers on and record, and it doesn't take us half a day to do it again. I mean,
yes. So we will, that we will have something to talk about next week.
I mean, look at the tangents we go off on. There'd never not be something to talk about.
Yes, it's true. You do wonder, though, how many people make it to the end of an episode.
Is anyone still here? Are you still there? Hello? Oh, you should say something secret so that if people have listened to the end, they can write it below and we'll know that they've listened to the end. Don't
#greasy, but just put GP.
Okay, I will allow GP, not greasy penis. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the HIV podcast. If you enjoyed our podcast, please like, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
You can now also follow us on Instagram and TikTok @the HIV podcast for behind the scenes insights and videos.